Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Michaela. For today's video, I'm going to be setting up my September spread in my work bullet journal. Let's just jump right into this video. So for the supplies for this spread, I'm going to be using a couple of black markers in different sizes and a ruler, and that is it, y'all. I'm keeping it super clean and simple. So a few people have reached out to me saying that they really like my bullet journal setups and they enjoy watching my videos and they're super interested in starting bullet journaling. However, they feel like they're not creative enough or they don't know where to start. And here I just wanted to set up a couple of spreads that were super minimal, super straightforward, and very productivity heavy, because I want to show everyone that bullet journaling can be as colorful as you want it, but it can also be as simple and minimal as you want it. There's so much that you can do with bullet journaling, which is why I absolutely love it. And I always recommend people try to start bullet journaling because you can literally make your planners and your spreads look exactly however you want them that work best for you. So today we're going to be setting up a minimalist spread for September. So on the left-hand page, I'm writing the word minimalist, and under it, I'm writing the ability to simplify without losing any quality, which I thought was a perfect quote for this spread. I wanted to show you guys that you can maximize your productivity, but still do it in a very simple, clean, modern way. So tips on minimalist spreads. I would recommend sticking with one color, typically black, and maybe introducing some accent colors here and there throughout your spreads if you like that. I really like doing some little pops of color here and there in my spreads for sure. I would also recommend sticking with one typeface, and for a minimalist spread, I would do kind of like a modern sans serif type. Even though you know I love my calligraphy, I think sticking with a modern sans serif type would be a perfect option for a minimalist spread. I also think it's super cute to stick to either all caps or all lowercase, to kind of give it a more uniform vibe throughout the entire spread. So thinking back to this quote here, minimalist spreads are very clean, very simple and straightforward. That way you can maximize your productivity and you don't have to put too much time or energy or thought into actually setting up your spreads for the week. Starting off this spread, I'm using my monthly water tracker on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, since September starts on Thursday, I'm just gonna add those 2 days here. All of the spreads that you'll see today, I used to use faithfully in my old work bullet journal, but since changing jobs, I no longer need these type of spreads anymore, but I still wanted to show you guys the ones that I absolutely loved and that worked wonders for my productivity. Since I'm only setting up 2 days on this page, I figured this would be the perfect place to do an hourly spread. And if you're like me, I'm the kind of person that will get super engrossed into a task and just work on that task the entire day when I have other things I need to do. So this definitely helps me cut things off and move on to the next task so I can check them off my to-do list. And so here what I'm doing is just writing the hours down the middle, and I have Thursday on the left and Friday on the right. To show you an example of how I would use this, I would basically draw a line blocking out those hours. And so you can see here that I will be doing my emails and urgent tasks from 7:30 to 8. I've also recently gotten in the habit of working through lunch, which I know is not a great habit. So I also like to put lunch on my schedule to remind myself hey, you need to take lunch. I'm definitely the kind of person that if I do a task that's not on my to-do list, I will add it to my to-do list and then cross it off immediately because I like to feel accomplished. So adding lunch to my actual to-do list definitely helps me remember that I need to take a break, I need to step away and not work through the day. And then, I can cross it off and feel accomplished. These next few spreads are the perfect way to see your full dashboard for the week in one look. And honestly, my favorite thing about these spreads is the fact that it's so easy to set up. All you need is a pen and a ruler and you're good to go. As I mentioned earlier, you can always introduce a little pop of color. To keep it more on the minimal side, I would stick to like 1 or 2, maybe even 3 colors for the entire monthly spread. But this is a perfect way to like highlight things or, just make it a little bit more fun. For this week's spread, I have a section for my meetings on the left-hand side, as well as a calendar of September above it with this week highlighted with my accent color. I also have sections for each day so I can list out my exact things that I need to do for each day, and a section for notes as well. I also love having this section here for next week so I can just see the things that may be coming up and prepare myself for that. Or if tasks or meetings were rescheduled or moved to next week, I can put everything here. So typically, if I started the week with this calendar at the top, I would just keep rolling over this calendar for the other spreads and highlighting, that week for that spread. But since I want to give you guys a few different options, I'm only going to do the calendar for this one spread. This next spread is another one where you can see your full week at a glance, just a different layout. One of the reasons why I stopped using some of these spreads is because I realized some of these features just weren't working for me in my new role. And again, that's one of the things I absolutely love about bullet journaling is you can switch things up as you change jobs or as you see fit if things are just not working for you. So for example, having the calendar in the top left spread and then having the week highlighted, I felt like I personally didn't really need to see that or look ahead that far. So as you can see, I have my notes at the top, the things I want to focus on the side, as well as my next week. I also have this space here at the top that I'm going to leave blank for now. I used to draw little doodles or like landscapes, or I would put maybe like an inspirational quote for the week in this spot here. You can also always bring that calendar over from the last spread and put it in this section here, but I will be leaving it blank for this spread because I like to doodle while I'm in meetings. So I put this perfect little box here right next to my notes, so while I'm taking notes in my meetings, if I so happen to want to doodle a little bit, I have this space here to do that. So this top section here is where I put all of my meetings or important tasks for each day of the week. I just want it to be really up front and center when I first open my journal. So everyone has their own way of bullet journaling and how they use different symbols to represent things, but this is how I use mine. So for example, we have a standing staff meetings on Tuesdays, and I usually represent all of my meetings with a triangle like this. So I like to use these open boxes to represent the different tasks that I have. So let's say I'm, in progress of checking my email. So I will put like a little slash through the box to show that this is in progress. And then let's say I'm halfway through checking my emails, I will color in the top half of the box. And then once I completely finish checking my emails or finish that task for the day, I will completely fill in the box. If there's a task that I couldn't get to that day and it's moved to a different day or moved to further down the week, I will draw a box and put a little arrow in it to show that it's moved to a different day. I also like to represent notes with little bullet points, and I also like to represent important tasks or important notes with stars. And so sometimes maybe a note might become important, so that's why I like to have little bullet points that I can then easily turn into stars or like draw a star over top of it. If a task is canceled, I will draw a X in the box to show that I no longer have to do that task. This was definitely one of my go-to spreads because I was one of those people that would never check the weather before leaving the house. And if I set up the weather for the entire week, I could see like, okay, I might need an umbrella for Wednesday or Thursday or whatever. And I was able to prepare better that way. I love this next spread because it's as simple as it could get. This is for all of the people that just really want something simple and straightforward. I got you. This is a good one. So this spread is definitely an opportunity to use your pop of color. And so I'm going to use it for the numbers here. And then I'm also going to just write in the day on top of it with black. And if the pop of color is just not your style, you can always keep this with black and do the number in black and then even write the name of the day of the week down below it, keeping the same font that you used throughout the other spreads. I also left a space down here for notes. Obviously, I'm a notes person. I really need to have the notes section on my spreads. But I also left a little space here for an opportunity to draw something cute, put a little decorative thing here. I just kind of drew these random leaves and I'm just gonna fill them in with black. And this last spread here is another it's another one of my favorites, y'all. I mean, all the spreads I'm showing you guys today is definitely, these were my go-tos. So this one is a perfect way to plan your day hourly as well. And having used this one a couple of times, I kind of found how it worked best for me. And that was to have my focus items and choose 2 focus items for the day to literally focus and get completely finished. So that's why you'll see those at the top, whereas everything else that's happening hourly, maybe just something that I'm working on or something that might be in progress or things that may, move to a different day. But those 2 focus items were things that I'm like, okay, I'm going to accomplish this today. And it doesn't even necessarily need to be work tasks. It could be just like, I'm going to take a break. Like I said earlier, I'm not the best at, stopping and taking lunch sometimes. Sometimes I work through lunch. So putting lunch at the top of my focus could be a focus item for me. And then of course we have the note section at the bottom. And again, for my current roll down, this note section is just not working for me. It's just way too small. The note sections are just way too small and it just wouldn't work out for me now. So typically, if I were doing this for my previous bullet journal, I would stop here. This would be the end of the monthly spread, and that would be it. But again, these note sections are just not it for me. So I know personally that September is going to be very, very busy for me. So I'm actually allocating myself 8 pages of notes because I know I'm going to need it. So I'm literally just writing notes at the top and bottoms of these next few pages. And here's the final flip through of all the pages we set up today. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Share this with a friend. Try out these spreads. If you do decide to try them out, let me know what you think down in the comment section. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.